Well, Mr. Ranger Doggy. We're live. We're live. I gotta get some coffee. Gotta get that coffee. Oh, coffee. Coffee time in the old VW. Coffee time in the old VW. Ding. Ding. Oh, look at that. Hey, good morning, Brother Eric. Hope you're staying warm. I hope you're staying swell, well, and groovy. Swell, well, and groovy. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Good morning. Here, I put a little extra light in here. There we go. That's a little better, huh? A little better. Good morning, Brother Eric. Like I said, I hope you're staying warm and groovy. Oh, coffee. So yeah, it got down to 4 degrees here in my neck of the woods. It was 10 degrees with the wind chill. It was 4. Well, that's super duper cold, but not as cold as it was the night before last when it dropped all the way down to -1 because of the wind chill. So we didn't have much wind last night, so it stayed pretty comfortable in the old VW bus. Am I having trouble with the I'm having trouble with the live video, huh? Is it not coming in too clear? Is it not coming in too good? I thought I had everything off. It says that I have a decent signal. Yeah, brother man, I was before I got the 4G, I dropped down to 2G on my other data plan. Oh, wakey time. Mr. Coffee. So, yep, getting up and about. I need to work today. I'm working today. Not sure if it's going to be a half day or a full day, but I got a complete full day in my head and prepared for a full day of work. Yep. So I'll be taking Mr. Ranger Dog to my friend James. My friend James has today off, and he's just going to hang out around his house. So on the way to work, I'm going to drop Ranger off at James and Dorothy's house, so Ranger can hang out with James's puppy dogs, Piez and Reagan, and he's going to get all kinds of groovy treats today, I bet. Heck yeah, you're going to go to church in the morning to work on stuff. That's very groovy, Brother Eric. Very groovy. Tomorrow, my plans are just to go do laundry and hang out. Maybe play a little disc golf in the morning. If it ain't too cold. Oh, Mr. Ranger. Yeah, that coffee tastes good this morning. It tastes good every morning, but it tastes good this morning. Oh yeah, Ranger just loves James. Ranger likes James. He likes it. Ranger likes everybody. He likes you even more so if you have a Ranger treat. And Mr. James has plenty of those. So it's funny because Ranger is a big hound dog when it comes to the treats. He just loves his treats. He's just a sucker for treats, huh, boo-boos? So yeah, he does. He likes James. He likes Dorothy. He likes hanging out there. He likes the puppy dogs, Piez and Reagan. That's James's puppy dogs. Are you working today, Brother Eric? It's a Saturday. I know a lot of people don't have to work today, but some people do, some people don't. Oh, man. So yesterday, I had all kinds of groovy things go down yesterday. not so groovy, but groovy, but not groovy. It was an experience yesterday. It really was. Coffee, good stuff. So yeah, yesterday, about 10 minutes till noon, I had my supervisor come hollering at me and was like, "Hey, you need to go check on your car because it looks like they're towing it." And yeah, it was a tow truck man there to repossess my car. Long story short, the bank messed up, sent out a repossession on it. Even though the bank just pulled money off my card, they thought it would be funny to keep the repossession on it and send a repo man, I guess. So I had to take care of that situation. Repo man talked to the bank, left my car where it was supposed to be left at, and all that jazz. So repo man was mad because the bank messed up, so he charged the bank $400 for their mess up, for him to come out, pick my car up, deal with the situation, and drop it. That was a $400 paycheck that man received. Oh yeah. Warm up my coffee. Pour me just a little bit more coffee here. Just a little bit more coffee. Well, that's cool, Brother Eric. You don't have to work today. You don't have to work. I don't mind going into work today. A little extra money in the old pocket. A little extra money in the old pocket. Oh yeah, I made it a holiday, huh? Huh. Maybe a federal holiday, but not an actual national holiday. Because I still gotta work Monday. Yes, sir. In fact, it's getting ready to get hectic at work because it's going to be the big inventory week. The big inventory week coming up next couple weeks, I guess. Next 2 to 3 weeks, possibly. So I'm going to be working a lot of hours. So I wonder what everybody did on a Friday night. My Friday night was just a relaxed evening of hanging out in the old VW bus. So yeah, it was my relaxing. I watched some YouTube, those YouTube videos, and relaxed. So what's your big plans for today, Mr. Eric, Brother Eric? What kind of shenanigans are you going to get into? My shenanigans, the way I understand it, I'll be painting today. I'll be painting a big section of the warehouse because the CEO, the big wig, and all that jazz is coming in this week. So they are in the process of making the warehouse look nice, which I understand. It's like, you know, if your parent comes to visit, you definitely want to make your house looks nice. And if you're a young person, your parent, when they come, they always want to make sure your room's clean. So So that's basically the same situation, but in adult frame of mind, working at the church, huh? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, brother. That's very groovy. Well, well, well. Did I tell you thank you, Brother Eric, for hanging out with me, man, and traveling along with me vicariously? Sorry. Getting a little warm in here. I need to turn down the heater. That's cool. Your Friday was a relaxing Friday night. Holy moly. Good morning, morning, funeral host. Hope all is well, swell, and totally hip and groovy. Grab yourself a cup of coffee. And join me and Mr. Ranger Dog. We're just hanging out. Ranger Dog's going to hang out with my friend James today and his wife Dorothy. They offered to watch Ranger while I work. James don't have to work this weekend. So it's going to be 32 degrees. Yes, it gets cold out, but Ranger stays pretty warm in the bus. Pretty warm. It's going groovy, brother. It's going groovy. I was just saying, Mr. Ranger Dog is going to hang out with James and Dorothy today because James don't have to work, and so Ranger's going to be hanging outside or inside with all kinds of puppy dogs and all that jazz. So yeah. And it's going to be just a quite uneventful Saturday for me. Oh, heck yeah. Everybody just spoils the Ranger. Ranger's going to get super spoiled today. I spoil Ranger as it is, but he gets super spoiled. Like when he's at my mom's or with anybody. And today when he's going to go to James and Dorothy, he's going to be super spoiled. That means for lunch, he's going to have a little bit of chicken, actually canned chicken, added into his lunch. And at 5, I'm sure I'm not working till 5. If I do, I do. But he'll have a groovy dinner, a real groovy dinner. So yeah. I gotta read I was just trying to read the comments. I just see what Eric was writing. So yeah, the big topic for today, well, it's not really a big topic. It was on my mind last night, and I really wanted to do a YouTube live talk about it, but I figured I would think about it, sleep on it, and all that situation. It was what happened yesterday. It really, kind of had, it had me keyed up and discombobulated all day long. We kept our landowner's dogs over for Christmas. Santa Paws. Oh, I brought him a stocking too. That's cool, funeral host. That's cool, man. Yep. Santa Paws brought Ranger all kinds of good things. I like that, Santa Paws. Oh. There's my Ranger. That's my Ranger. So yeah, yesterday, like I said, my boss came and got me. He was hollering at me. I thought he was hollering at Trey. And I was working with my coworker D, and I was like, is he hollering at Trey or is he hollering for me? He goes, Trey's not here. I think he's hollering for you. And so I walked from one side of the warehouse to the other where my boss was at. He's like, hey Brad, they're towing your car. I was like, whew. I made a beeline out the door, and I didn't notice the guy, but there was this big old, tall redneck white dude, total redneck, and he just starts following me outside. Long story short, he was the repo man, and he was there to repo the car. And what I found out later was there was a young lady who works there who delivers the auto parts, seeing them lifting up the back of the car. Well, she stopped him and went and got my supervisor, and I guess the repo man came in, you know, because I guess the jig was up. He was trying to take it without, you know, being seen or messed with. So the jig was up. So he goes in looking for me, and that's about time I come through there. Well, he was giving me the third degree about Ranger. Like, he was like threatening to call the cops because it was cold out, even though it was warm as it could be in the car. And he didn't even care about that. I every 2 hours go out there and hang out with Ranger and start the car up. You know, he didn't care about that. And so long story short, you know, the bank. I called the bank. The bank talked to the tow truck guy. Bank totally messed up. The guy dropped his, you know, or dropped my car back down, and he turned a complete 360, like, or 180. He was completely nice, but beforehand he was very aggressive, very aggressive about Ranger. When my friend James came out, he was like basically looking at James like, who in the heck are you? Who's this guy walking out? He was very aggressive, and I was just as calm as it could be. I knew there was a mess up because the bank just withdrew the money from my account that morning. So there's obviously a mess up. But the whole bummer part of the deal was my coworkers, everybody at work, seen this go down, and it was very freaking embarrassing. But my boss was all cool about it. He was pissed about the tow truck guy threatening to call the cops. Dude, it is what it is, man. I mean, life happens. People make mistakes. You know, the bank messed up. It was just a whole cruddy situation. But what really ticked me off the worst was somehow this guy knew all about me. Well, their job is to find, you know, the repo. So he knew about he found me on the internet. He knew all about my videos. He goes, obviously you're struggling living in a VW van, so you should just give up the car. And I was like, it's not about struggling, man. I was like, and besides, that's none of your business. I was like, I have to have the credit. And I never cussed, you know, I never, like, you know, really got upset. I was like, I have to have the credit for this, because in reality, my mom co-signed on that for me, because I was just back from California. I didn't have credit in Oklahoma. So my mom, so I was not going to lose my mom's credit. And that's what I was telling him. I was like, dude, I have it set up, man. It's like, but after the whole situation was defused, he was really nice. You know, I mean, this guy was like, he was twice my size. I mean, but he was just very aggressive. And I felt for the guy, because, you know, obviously that was how he has to present himself on his job. Because, you know, I'm sure people have jumped on him or whatever. You know, we really didn't talk about it. You know, I was just telling him quickly about my situation. I was like, dude, I got all jacked up through the divorce. My wife had this car. She was supposed to be paying for this car, and she didn't. And I've been trying to catch up ever since, and blah-de-blah-de. And I was like telling him about how I just moved from California because my pops passed. You know, I was just being nice and telling him a quick sob story, basically. And he got cool at the end. He was really cool, but it was not a groovy day. Like, literally not a groovy day. I got to keep an eye on the time, because this is a normal work day for me. Yeah, that was none of his business, funeral host. Like I said, but they knew where I worked. You know, he knew everything about me. It was like, because they have private investigators. That's what the banks do. They hire these people and they go look for your car, you know, and I was under the pressure, it was all put on hold because I was on a payment plan that they can work with, which is literally pulling out of my check. And so, but he didn't care. And if it wasn't for me calling the bank and like getting it all figured out quickly, he would have lickety split with Ranger. If that young lady didn't say anything, he would have split with Ranger and took Ranger to the pound. Ranger to the pound. Like that. Like I said, he was being very aggressive, and I just defused the whole situation, you know, like just kind of been cool with it. So that was on my mind last night. I wanted to do a YouTube live thing, but everybody was on YouTube last night doing their things and having a groovy old time, and here I want, it's just great conversation with coffee, you know. Speaking of coffee, I need some more coffee. I need to warm my coffee up. But yeah, it was just great conversation with coffee. And I feel sorry for the dude. Yeah, he kind of said how much money he makes from his little job, but the whole situation when he's like, he knew all about my life and was like saying I'm obviously struggling. It's like, dude, it's not your you know, thing to decide. Yeah, everybody's human, and you're right. And that, like I said, that's that guy's job. That was that guy's business. That's how he makes his money, not just by repo, but just other, you know, it's just a record company. You know, they pick up, you know, the gigs like everybody else does. And I was cool with that. I understood that, man. I just didn't want him to just lickety split, and be like, I'm gonna take the car and figure out the situation later, because they can, and easily could have, with Mr. Ranger Dog in there. That's what got me so wigged out for the rest of the day, because I mean, if I would have walked out and that car was gone and Ranger Dog was gone, I don't know what I would have done, man. But it is what it is. The whole situation turned out super duper groovy. I'm having coffee with the old fine folks today, telling you about the story. So, yeah, it was heavy. We were all supposed to go to Whataburger. I've never had a Whataburger in my life. Whataburgers here in the Midwest, I guess. Believe it or not, I've never had a Whataburger. So, me and some co-workers, we're all like, hey, let's go to Whataburger. James was buying, and it was like the vibe before it all happened was like, we're excited for lunch. Well, this happened 10 minutes before lunch. Yes, we still went to Whataburger. We're all piled into my friend Jason's car, and he drove, but the vibe was just not there. Nobody was really talking, you know, because it was like a whole hairy situation. All the employees were basically stopped and checking it out, you know. So, but it is what it is. I have the Jetta, and I got Ranger Dog. I'm having coffee. And I got to keep an eye on time, so it's around 22 after. Yeah, it got cold this morning, but I kick on my old heater. Like, I got it here just in case my feet get cold, but it's nice and toasty in here. I can kick on the old buddy heater, aka my little fireplace. And let me tell you what, that's just the medium setting. Yeah, well, that's roasty toasty. That'll burn you out of here. But it feels good when it's cold out. So heck yeah, that was what was on my brain officially this morning. I just had to get the gears going with some coffee and talk about it, because yeah, it was a crazy situation. Never before in my life have I ever gone through that situation, and it boils down to divorce. It really does. It's like, it's amazing. I was talking to a friend last night about, he went through a divorce and kind of through the same situation. It jacks you up a little bit, and I just keep trucking, you know. I just kind of keep on the brighter side of life, you know. A lot of stuff in my life, you know, I've gone through, and I kind of, you got to keep your head up, you know. Keep your head up. But all this VW bus, this beautiful bus, it will change you as a person. It sure changed me past 18 years. Basically the same time I purchased this VW bus, I started playing disc golf. So disc golf and this VW bus have always gone hand to hand. I've been to a lot of tournaments in it, been to a lot of camping tournaments where you camp at the tournament. So yeah, if you ever get out there and play disc golf, you should check it out. If you get a chance to try it out. A lot of people get very, I guess you can say, frustrated with it, especially when they're new, because they don't understand the dynamics of a disc, how it flies, what it does. and whatnot. When I was playing at Dolisi Park on Wednesday after Ranger Dogs vet checkup, these two young guys came up, and I thought they were disc golfers, so I was going to let them play through. But they're like, no, it's too windy. We're done. This sucks. And of course, yes, they were younger, and I was like, you guys, this wind will make you better. I was like, how long you guys been playing? They're like, a year and a half. I was like, I understand, guys. I was a year and a half into me playing disc golf. I would have been like, heck, I ain't playing in this wind. But I learned that the wind will teach you how to fly those things, especially if you go to tournaments that people ain't used to win and they happen to have wind. You can play really good there. Well, let me catch what you said there, old funeral host. Oh, man. Never knew it was gone. Holy schmolies, Bubba. Yeah, they quick, man. Try that when I get more mobile back. Thank you, brother man. Thank you, brother man. So yeah, disc golf. I've been with it 18 years, and it's honestly, let me tell you, I still keep learning disc golf. That's why I said don't ever get frustrated. These guys are totally frustrated. They lickety-splitted. They did not want to hear from the wise old Jedi disc golf master at all. They're just like, they're young. They don't hear people. They're like, I'm gone. And it kind of made me think of YouTube in a way. You know, a lot of people get frustrated, you know, when they're trying to build their channels and they lickety split. You know, I've seen, you know, or just not do it as put much content out because they just get frustrated. And the key thing is, don't get frustrated. You know, in anything, just keep on trucking. You know, the Grateful Dead, keep on trucking. It's a great philosophy of life, you know, a little think about life, because stuff happens, you know, wind happens. Wind happens, you know. So just play with it. It was one frisbee, not a whole. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not a frisbee. It's a whole setup, brother. My discs are in the front seat. I would get them, but I got it like, you know, completely set up for winterized. I block off the cab area with that blanket. So, but yeah, it's a whole setup. Just like clubs of disc or clubs for ball golf, for regular golf. Just like clubs, you have your different gloves, your drivers, your mid-ranges, and your putters. Same thing with discs, man. And they all do different things, fly different ways in different conditions. And you got to learn that. You got to learn that. You got to learn how to get your flow when you play. Just like, you know, being in YouTube, man, it takes a while. You know, if you go back and look at my very beginning of vlogging, I don't have no flow in front of a camera, let alone, you know, doing it live. Especially when I did it live. I did it live way back in 2015. And I still didn't have a flow because you're nervous. And that's a hard thing to get through, is being nervous. So we got 28 after. I haven't checked out what's going on the YouTube this morning. Old YouTube. Old YouTube. Alright, I'll get my phone working. For you fine folks that don't know, I went through a phone situation here recently, and I discovered TracFone by T-Mobile. Them folks got a pretty good dealio, man. For basically $60 a month, I got unlimited 4G, talk, text, and all that groovy jazz. It's a lot cheaper than when I was playing through AT&T, because AT&T was killing me. But I was still paying for my ex-wife's phone. Yep, a lot of wind, funeral host. Oh, yeah, the old YouTube says I'm live. Says Westphalia Chronicles is live this morning. Let's see what's on the old subscription list. I try to, when I subscribe to people, I try to get to them and watch their videos. Well, darn it. Looks like I missed Scott Yukin. Yukin was live. Let's explore 2 Japanese arcades. That's what he's doing. Check that out. So I'm just now seeing what's going on.
Hello, all you wonderful people, and greetings from the heart of Umeda.
All right, Scott Yukin.
Right now, we're about to go
always got to give a big thumbs up.
Of 2 places I want to show you. This is the Namco. Sorry.
I've followed
Namco,
Mr. Scott Yukin for years
Namco.
now, from the time
Namco
before he left for
Namco
Japan
Bandai,
until
very
now.
famous video games company.
I can remember when he got
You
stuck
guys
at
here
LAX
first,
for like
then I wanna
18
take you
hours or
someplace
something
that I
like
go a
that.
lot
It was like
called,
18 hours, or maybe like 12 hours. It was a cool minute. He was stuck at LAX.
There's a bigger one in Tokyo. Hey everybody, how you all doing?
Gotta love Scott Yukin. Go check him out. So yeah, what else is going on the old YouTube this morning? What's this? Oh wow, Jordan the Lion's hanging out with Lil Wu, it looks like. Well, that's what the clip was, but it looked like he was hanging out with the Wu at the Batman Museum in Los Angeles, I'm sure. I haven't checked it out yet, so. Big thumbs up for old Jordan the Lion, man.
What's going on in there?
Oh, what's going on? So that's what's going on the old YouTube this morning. Groovy stuff. So I'll be at work today. I get to check it all out. That's what it looks like. Oh, he was hanging out with Adam the Wu, it looks like. Really groovy stuff, man. What's Yuna got going on here?
Today's video.
Bonus video, it says.
We're gonna feel the ambiance.
Ambiance. Oh, groovy, Yuna.
Thanks for coming.
Big thumbs up for Yuna. Very cool.
I have to keep up with my nieces, but
I love Yuna over there at Yuna's Journeys. She's coming on up too with all of us. We're all building together. Alright, so yeah, that's what's going on the YouTube this morning. The YouTube. I'm gonna throw this back on the charger and take it off. See, I always gotta edit, or not edit. I got to log out of the YouTube if I'm streaming or watching or sharing it to the phone here, like I'm doing it for you guys, or this is basically a camera now. A nice Samsung fancy dancy computer camera. That's what it is now. My Samsung Galaxy 7 is now a computer camera. That's what I call it. 'Cause it's not a phone no more. That's my phone. So it's not too bad. A lot cheaper than it was before. And if I had my laptop, speaking of my laptop, I have to get it in and get it worked on because I got a blue screen on it. So no es bueno. We got 33 after the hour. Truck it on into about 42 minutes after the hour, and I gotta split out of here because Mr. Ranger Dog is gonna go hang out with James and Dorothy, and I'm gonna go work for the day and do some painting. That's the dealio. Better warm up the last bit of my coffee here. So. Oh, coffee. Coffee in the morning. So let me see if I catch up on some comments here. Oh, same old comments. Same old comments. So yeah, my Saturday is going to be just a relaxing day at work, painting, and whatever else goes on. Mr. Ranger Dog, you just chilling? Oh, breakfast, man. Yep. Man, I'm a breakfast eater on Saturdays and Sundays when I'm at my mom's, but on the norm, when I work 9 to 5, I don't eat much breakfast because I know they say that breakfast is the most important part of the meal of the day. But if I eat breakfast in the morning, I'm really sluggish through the day. I don't know why. I just feel real slow. Maybe I get me some like apples or some fruits, you know. Have me some fruits in the morning, and that might be groovy. Good old coffee. Gotta make sure I get all my important things out. My keys here. This is my little knick-knack. I just pulled my keys, my wallet out. This is where I keep my little knick-knacks. Rangers medicine here. I got my pepper in there, hand sanitizer, my dad's old watch. Yep. That's my little knick-knack area. Of course, Mr. Ranger dog, he's just hanging. Yeah, he's gonna be spoiled today. He's spoiled every day. Oh, so yeah, I gotta start getting geared up for work, but I'll be painting, which is pretty cool. I'm cool on painting. Just take your time and do it right, you know? Yeah, a lot of people are probably just snoozing. Gomez, she's hopefully snoozing. She always says when I go live, the bell wakes her up. So like I said, hopefully she's snoozing. Gotta plug in my mobile hotspot and phone. That's what I call my phone. My mobile hotspot and phone. So that's my setup for coming live. $60 a month ain't bad for a mobile hotspot, phone, and I can, you know, stream my videos and upload a lot quicker. To upload a 3 to 4 minute video on 2G took over 7 hours sometimes. 7 hours. So it was like, yeah, I could have waited till the 27th. That's when that plan went out and got the $60 plan, when I could afford it better. But I was like, heck it, I got a roof over my head, I got some food, I got Ranger Dog's food, I'll do it. Because like I said, I knew they were getting ready to withdraw money out of my account for that car, so I was prepared for that, you know. You gotta work the numbers so you stay above the water. That's the catch-22 in their little scheme of life here. My friend Jay York, a good friend of mine, he's been vlogging before I got started, but he came on. I met him when I started vlogging through a mutual acquaintance, and I'm gonna put a link up to my buddy Jay York's channel, because he likes to go live quite often, and he goes live for hours, and he has all kinds of good things he talks about. For anything, like last night, Star Trek. He had a whole, you know, he's a good guy. He has a lot of chats, anything from paranormal to political. So if that's what you're into, he's a good guy, and he uses Google Hangouts. So he has the possibility to invite guests if you have Google Hangout through your home computer or laptop. It don't work yet on mobile devices, unfortunately. It used to on Google Hangouts. You can do regular Google Hangouts on mobile devices, just like to your friends, you know. But to air on through YouTube, the way it's set up now, you can't, unfortunately, which is a bummer. Because like I said, when you first could go Google Hangouts through YouTube, you can use mobile devices. We had guests. I used to be on a vloggers talk show, and we had guests that would use mobile devices, you know, instead of their home computer, because that's where they were at. So we got 40 after the hour. That means I'm gonna put my shoes on here, my work shoes on here. So I'm gonna give you guys some ambiance while I do that. Oh, give some room here. Some Ranger dogs getting about ready to head to work, boo-boos. Well, I'm gonna head to work. You're gonna go to James's house. So thank you, funeral host, for hanging out with me today, this morning. Rule 23, take more water than you can bail out the bucket you have unless you can. Yes, brother. Yes, sir. The old bucket of life. But you know what, man? If we all just kind of, as they say, hang out with the light and follow the light, or let your soul shine, you know, let your soul shine, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. If that Jetta would have just been in my wife and I's name with the credit, I would have been like, just take the son of a gun. But it's not. So that's my choices in life, so I got to pay for that Jetta, which is groovy. But I tell you what, I'm going to change my whole description to living in a VW van and driving a Volkswagen Jetta. How's that for a dealio? But I dig that. That's an interesting way of looking at it. But I need to fire up the old VW bus, not this morning, but soon. We all need to go for a VW bus trip, you know, go for a ride or something. So I need to get that all going on, because I need to move the bus. I need to move it around. Come here, boo-boos. Let's put your collar on. Yeah. Yeah, see, he's getting excited. Come on, boo-boos. Sit up. Sit up. Come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oop, look at that one. There's that one. Oh, yeah. Ready to go to James's? Dorothy's? Gonna hang out there? I don't want them to think I'm leaving them. That's the only thing I worry about, because Mr. Ranger Dog suffers from separation anxiety. Because like I said, I'm like his fourth owner, so he's used to people just leaving him. I don't want him to think I'm just leaving him at Dorothy and James's house. So thank you so much, funeral host, for hanging out here all morning this morning with Mr. Ranger Dog and I. We appreciate it, brother man. And for you fine folks that's going to tune in later this Saturday morning for some coffee, you know, some kind coffee talk. That's going to be really groovy too. Thanks for hanging out with Mr. Ranger Dog and I. We enjoy it. Getting up in the morning and have a chit chat with you guys. I've missed it. I missed it quite often when I was on 2G. Alrighty, friends, family, groovy people. As always, love one another, be kind to one another, be grateful for every single moment of the day. I'm yawning too, Mr. Ranger. I need more coffee. Peace, love, and always, 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 Volkswagen grease.